about that. And before we get on to the latest news with regards to that, we need to touch on Wilfred Osei-Kweku, whom allowed us to dub last week's show the Erade Kasa edition. What has happened is that he was expected to file an appeal on Monday. Now, due to some technicalities that we cannot necessarily prove on this particular show, the NC led by Madame Odofole says that due to some technicalities that were breached, Mr. Palmer's appeal was unsuccessful. Now, according to them, basically, the Palmer camp filed a notice of appeal and not the appeal itself. So by the time the appeal itself was submitted, the stipulated time had elapsed, and so the appeal was not considered valid. Palmer and his camp say that that is a bunch of hocus pocus and that they are not taking it. So, of course, he is going to exhaust every possible avenue or every possible means. FIFA have been thrown in the mix, CAF have been thrown in the mix, and then, of course, his beloved CAS, the Court of Arbitration for Sports. Now, the latest in the GFA presidential race news is that the balloting has been done, and so we know exactly who fits where as far as the ballots is concerned. So I'll be getting you that one in a bit. I know that Mr. Simon Okreku is on top of that pile, followed by George, and then there's Fred Papo.
Yes, Fred Papo, number 3. There's Amanda Clinton, number 4. And number 5 is
George.
No.
Nanaya Amponsa, number 5. And then George Ankoma Mensah is at number 6 on the ballot paper. So that's where we are as far as GFA issues.
Kurt, George, Fred Papo, Amanda, Nanaya Amponsa, and George Ankoma Mensah.
In that particular order. I'll take thoughts quickly from my guys, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Today, the issues are vast. Coach, you weren't here last week, so I'll give you first take on this. Touch for me first and foremost on the Palmer situation, and then also you can touch on Papo and Efrie's launch, and then the balloting quickly.
Benjamin, to be honest with you, when some of us got the news that Palmer had been disqualified after the voting, it was very, very shocking. But of course, the NC, they have the right to disqualify or qualify whoever they want to. So there had to be an appeal. He appealed. And then now Adofole, if you read that letter, for me, I don't think that was not an appeal. It was an appeal. Because you don't tell me that lawyers of the caliber of Title Sorry don't know how to appeal.
They say the appeal was sent late.
Look,
the time had elapsed.
Monday?
No.
Hadn't they?
Wednesday.
They received the appeal on Wednesday.
No, he got his response on Wednesday.
But he met the deadline because the deadline was Tuesday by, I think, 4:30 p.m.
Let me tell you what happened in terms of the timing issue. And lots of people have it wrong. So the deadline is on Tuesday.
That's it.
I think 4:30 p.m.
Yep.
Palmer filed the appeal in quotes that the NC says is not an appeal at 5:05 p.m. on Monday. Technically, that should be before.
Which was the notice of appeal.
Yes. And then they requested for the recordings of the yes. So, but they have started the process, all right.
Yes.
But you see, the reason people bring in the timing issue isn't because they think that, or they say Palmer was late in terms of not meeting the deadline. The technicality they are using is this: that Palmer filed it at 5:05 p.m. Do you know why they were specific with the 5:05 p.m.? That's 5 minutes past the working hours of the FA Secretariat.
Oh, but they received it. They stamped it. Is it?
Yes, but
let me tell you something. See,
Guys,
if you are
let's just read the letter. Quote: Notice of appeal received on Monday, 7th October at 3:40 p.m. That was the letter that was signed by now the fully naughty. I will continue. Notice of application for an interim injunction on the decision of the GFA Election Committee received on Monday, 7th October at 5:05 p.m. Statement in support of the application for an injunction pending appeal received on Monday, October 7th at 5:05 p.m. We regret to inform you that based on the above listed documents received before the deadline, your appeal was unsuccessful. End quote. So that's really the crux of the letter that was signed by now the fully naughty.
Which actually does not explain to anybody why the appeal has been turned down. Because if indeed they are saying that is as a result of time, then it's neither here nor there. Because if the office was closed, who received it? They did. That's why they are able to quote the sort of timing they are quoting.
Yeah, but Chris, I mean, receiving it does not mean that
you acknowledge receipt.
Yeah.
They receive.
Are you then saying that there's some machination to kick Palmer out of this, and that he hasn't been dealt a fair hand?
Look, for me, I don't mind. At the end of the day, it's about giving Ghana the very best. But I would have wanted everybody treated fairly. It is clear, especially with the sort of audios that are flying left, right, center. For me, those audios are true audios. I have listened to them. And I'm sure everybody here have listened to those audios. The thing is being done as if it was preconceived, already pre-decided that for him, come what may, he will not make the ballot. As to whether if he had made the ballot, he would win the election, the delegate would have decided on that. Going forward to Georgia Free, I was in Sunyani.
Christopher.
Yes, I was there. I was in Sunyani.
You were in Sunyani last week.
Yes, I went to Sunyani. I had never been there before. So
Wait.
I had some family issues to take care of, and then just after sorting myself out,
That was last Friday, right?
Yes.
So you were not on Panorama.
No, he wasn't here.
I wasn't here last.
The week man you lost, you were not here.
Oh no, boy, we are talking about GFA elections.
Friend to
So,
behave.
What I'm saying is this: I was in Sunyani. Look, I was at Kate's, I was at Palmer's, and I was at George's. From what I saw in Sunyani, you may take it or leave it. I think George is in a very, very good lead.
Comfortably.
I'm not using the word comfortable because that is very
It
dangerous.
has been taken.
Comfortable. Remember, the comfortable became something else. But from what I saw in Sunyani, Ben, take it or leave it. I think George, with about close to 3 weeks, or close to less than 3 weeks to the election, I use this platform and I say it is his to lose. Yes, this is it is an emphatic statement I am making. Because if you look at those who came there, believe you me, they are those who cast their votes. They will be voting. I could count as many as over 85 delegates.
Were they not there on solidarity?
No, come on. You see,
when you leave Accra to go to Sunyani, it's a big deal. Though.
It's a very, very big deal.
Yeah, but
I
it's
think
also it's not so much of a big deal if somebody
It
took
is.
me there.
No, but
if
you
you
see-
give me money to come there and come and sleep
Look,
and eat for free.
look.
Well,
I can tell you for a
there's
fact-
definitely
There's
that.
also that. So you have to think
I can
about
tell you for a
both
fact-
sides.
I can tell you for a fact that the caliber of people there will not go there because of they being given some money. You don't take George Amwakin there because you've given him money. You don't take Nana Kwame there because you've given him money. You don't take Midiama, the owner of Midiama, there because
Moses
you've given him.
Amapaka.
Oh, I could go on and on. And I got a chance to meet almost all the 20 delegates that will vote in Sunyani.
You know that would vote from BA.
BA,
that will,
yeah.
Sorry, that will vote from BA.
Yeah. Okay.
And look, these are men of repute, distinguished. Look, at times.
Are you removing them from the fair delegates bracket?
No. I will not do that. But I'm saying that from what I saw and from the sort of interactions that some of us had directly with people who will be casting their vote, if you listen to them speak, I am saying on 97.3 emphatically, it is George's election to lose.
Okay, thank you.
Right, I will not take that back.
Thank you.
Given another opportunity, I'll reiterate and repeat it over and over again and again.
Friends, you have been interjecting the whole time. Briefly on the same issues. Snap thoughts.
We wanted to talk about the issues. Nimli has come here. He's talking about who his favorite is.
No, he's not talking. I don't think he's talking.
No, I mean favorite to win.
No, but he
but he's well within his right to say who he thinks is in a better position.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's the one you.
No, but you are. Let's make a distinction.
Hold on. Chelsea versus Man U. Chelsea are favorites. Doesn't mean I'm supporting Chelsea. But I'm not saying that's what
I said. From what I saw,
exactly.
No,
I didn't say it was unfounded.
But don't make your point based. Don't build on Nimli's point. Build your own point. Palmer first.
You endorsed
George and Papo also launched their manifesto. Touch on Palmer first briefly.
I love the manifesto documents from the candidates to begin with, and I love the interesting way in which all of them have been titled. You know, there's the restoration,
game changer.
There's the game changer.
Yep.
There is the I think there is the George's own is, I think that's titled the restoration of Ghana football.
Yeah.
Palmer's is titled the reforming Ghana football. So it's very interesting. And guess what? Amanda Clinton's one is titled the metamorphosis of Ghana football.
Yeah, wonderful stuff.
Yeah, some very wonderful stuff. So, I mean, to begin with, I think it's fantastic that a lot of these candidates have documents and policy documents to back their campaigns. For a start, that is really good. It's important for us to have a look at what everybody's plans are and actually have them on paper, and so we can always refer to those documents and hold them accountable when they come to power, because it's very important. And I love every document that each one of them has put together. Very fantastic, and a lot of them have focused a lot on developing the football from the grassroots level. And we've all appreciated this point from the very beginning, that the reason we are struggling is because we haven't done a lot in terms of developing grassroots football, and that's very important. And the same goes for women's football as well. And I love the conversation that had surrounded women's football and what all of the candidates have had to say about women's football. I listened to George. I've looked at his document. It's talked about the importance of ensuring that, they're bringing a lot of women into running women's football in the country. Did you know that more than like 99% of women's football clubs in Ghana are owned by men?
Yeah.
And the exact same percentage of those people do not make any money out of running women's football. So it's basically charity. And for a business as huge as football, we cannot leave it to charity. It's only when somebody is willing and has an interest that they run a football club and they pay the people out of their own pockets, they get nothing in return. We can't leave the fate of our football to that. Football isn't charity, it's big business. And it's important for people to begin to see what is important, where the investment needs to go into. Investing in pitches, all of them do talk about that. And I love that, because one of the biggest problems we have in this country is quality pitches. If you take the Premier League, even the Premier League clubs, how many of them play on quality pitches? Division 1 league games are played on Sakura Parks. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. So anybody who is in support of constructing quality pitches across the country, even if it takes partnerships to do it, it's very important. Maintaining quality, and this is the difficult part, keeping our talents in the country and making sure that they are developed before they travel outside. I'll tell you something. When was the last time any player made any quality move out of the Ghana Premier League? You go to Senegal, and their players are making moves out of Generation Foot Academy for 3 million, 4 million, 5 million.
That is good money when you are leaving the shores of Africa.
Yes,
Good money.
it's great money.
I mean, if
when was the last time any player made any move outside of
mean,
the country straight from here?
you go to Mali, for example, a player like Yves Bissouma,
Yeah.
who plays for Brighton.
Yes.
Yves Bissouma went from Mali straight to Ligue 1,
Yes,
from Mali straight to the French league. So
you know, and it's not the Ismail Assar. It was the same. He went straight from Senegal to Ligue 1. Now he's joined the Premier League for 25 million. You know how much money his club back in Senegal will get as onward transfer fee for that? That money can take care of the club for the next 5 years. The entire budget. That's the luxury we don't have. When was the last time a player actually moved from the Ghana Premier League or Ghana Division 1 to a top club in France or anywhere else?
They go from here to Tanzania,
They go from here to Iran.
Lebanon,
Azerbaijan.
As you know,
Thailand.
it shouldn't be.
Thailand.
And all of this is because there is no money. Players aren't paid quality salary. I was listening to George yesterday on GTV.
Yeah. Spoke
And he
about
made the point
minimum
that
wage thing.
a player actually left Liberty Professionals to go to another country to go and earn $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Because of $1,000 a month salary.
We couldn't keep him.
He couldn't keep him. Quality player at that. So these are the real problems that we face.
I
And
mean,
these problems
if you look at Africa, for example, you go to the North African countries, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. Morocco especially, Morocco and Tunisia. You go down south to South Africa, you find that players are not leaving.
Yes.
Because there's money. I mean,
remuneration is key.
great.
So it's really important. That's why. So all those things are very important. However, the politics of it, and I come to it. See, I love George Friye because he's a very passionate man. Like you can tell he genuinely cares. I think his biggest flaw is that he probably cares too much. Sometimes he overreacts. Like he's a very passionate man. You know, when he speaks, you can tell that this guy. I've seen George cry over football. Like, so he genuinely does care. So at least he's got that going for him. Kurt is a very smart man.
Very smart.
He's a very smart man. Very smart man. Well educated. Knows exactly what he's about. Could do a lot for our football. The same can be said for Nana Yamponsa. Kurt is Nana Yamponsa is very well educated as well.
Very new school guy. Very.
You know, sports lawyer, so he knows all the contemporary ways of running football. So I'm very happy with the quality of candidates that we have. Fred Papo, Jesus Christ, he's practically a genius. You know, and he's one of those people that can stand firm, put his foot down, and earn respect from everybody in the Ghana football circles because he's been there, done that. Very experienced fellow. You look at all the other people in the EXCO, and that's where I am very excited about, because it doesn't matter who becomes the GFA president, Ben. The most important thing we should all be excited about is the composition of this EXCO. The biggest problem we had in the previous administration was that the EXCO was basically a stooge that served at the mercy of Kwesi Nyantakyi. He had too many powers.
The Goro boys
What
of
is
Ghana football.
what is the guarantee that we are not about to have the same thing?
Because of the quality of people we are having on there. Look, the RFA chairman. Let me tell you something. Hold on.
The quality of the delegate I saw at Sonia.
You
had problem with that.
let me tell you
You
something.
had problem with that.
How?
You want us to accept the quality of the.
But they're the people we have.
So therefore,
There is 7 of them in the Premier League competing for 5 places. I'm talking to their quality.
they are of high repute.
Yes. So I'm saying that the problem we had in the previous, listen, there were 22 delegates. There were 22 ESCO members. 10 of them were regional FA chairmen. How?
Grusa described them perfectly.
10 of them. So almost half of the entire ESCO were regional FA chairmen. It shouldn't be. Now, that's not going to happen. You look at the people representing the Premier League, for example. The 7 people, 5 of them will be elected. Frederick Echampong.
Class.
He's one of the rising stars of Ghana football.
Class.
CEO of Ashanti Gold. Look at George Amako, CEO of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You look at Tony Obeng, run Mediama for long. He's a very, very astute businessman. You look at, you look at somebody like Albert Komi. One of those people. He's been there, done that.
Hold on. There's some breaking news coming
Frederick
in.
Moore.
There's some breaking news coming in. Let me just read this and then we'll go on. So I'm reading this. I'm not substantiating this in any way or form. This is on Ghana Soccer Net right now. And it says that breaking news. Ghana FA election set to be postponed indefinitely. Court action hits process. And I read. Now, the Ghana FA's upcoming elections has hit the skids as court action by a disqualified candidate has been served on the normalisation committee seeking to order the caretaker body to stop the process. Roy Arthur is unhappy with the decision of the NC to exclude him from the race to contest the Central Region's FA chairmanship position. His lawyer, Kwame Kwesen, slapped the GFA with the writ on Friday afternoon to stop the elections, which is supposed to start next week. This means the NC must contest the decision in court before the election can continue, even though the clear candidates are vigorously campaigning. Arthur's request to stop election was filed on Thursday, and the NC has just 8 days to respond to the suit. Otherwise, the election will be stopped immediately by the court. The football administrator told the Accra High Court that the NC breached Article 5 Clause F and Article 9 of the GFA regulations to disqualify him. Arthur wants the court to declare that their action to exclude him from the race is irregular and void, and prayed the court to set aside the action of the NC. The caretaker body is yet to respond to the court action taken by Roy Arthur, which has brought some uncertainty to the process of the election of new executives.
In the Central Region, is that a region where someone is going on the post?
Yup.
Yeah, Roy Arthur was going for RFA
Chairman.
chairman.
And he's
He
been
during
disqualified.
the
one
vetting,
who-
he was disqualified.
And the one
yes.
who's called it, so there's
Yes.
only one person.
Yep. So you know that
So that's just something for you to chew on, friend.
there was an affidavit written by Na Odofoli to the court in response to.
This.
Yeah, I have it here. I've been looking at this since afternoon. He says, I, Na Odofoli Noti of then the address, a legal practitioner, make oath and say that 1, I am a member of the normalization committee, blah, blah, blah. 2, that the matters to which I hereafter depose are true to the best of my knowledge and belief as they are within my personal knowledge, unless expressly stated to the contrary. 3, at the hearing of this application, counsel for the applicant will seek leave to refer to all processes so far filed in this suit as if same were set out in extenso in this affidavit and sworn to. The Ghana Football Association has been served. No, that's 4. That the Ghana Football Association has been served with a writ of summons and a statement of claim filed by the plaintiff on 10th October 2019. I am advised by counsel and verily believe same to be true that the said writ of summons and statement of claim is defective. I am further advised and verily believe same to be true that the said defect is fundamental and goes to the root of the process filed. And that 7, in the circumstances, I pray this court to set aside the writ of summons and statement of claim as defective. So that was
The response.
The NC's response to Roy Arthur's.
Yes. And now, what we don't understand is, and what we don't know is what the court said after this particular one. But if you look at the rate, there is a document here I'm looking at that appears to show that the court hearing had been set for 17th. Was it? Yeah, something like that of this month. So it does look very murky at the moment, and we are not legal luminaries.
There'll definitely be some clearance on this in
Yeah,
court,
so we
at
don't
least
want to double.
by close of work on Monday.
Yeah, so we don't. We all don't understand.
So it looks as if the election date has been set, but there might be a few showdowns
before the
election. But
yeah, so that would be interesting. So let me just wrap up by saying that. So I was talking about the quality of the people who are contesting for the expo, like the Kwekweyas, all of them, very, very nice people, very men of integrity, and I'm happy with that. It doesn't matter who becomes president. I'm saying that the checks and balances does look like it will work with the quality, the Randy Abbes, all of these guys. If they get on the exco, they're not people that can be easily manipulated. Let me just say briefly on the Palmer issue. Christopher was talking about the fact that the appeal shouldn't have been dismissed, blah blah. I am just saying that I don't even think Palmer should have been disqualified in the first place.
That is what.
Because, and now we know the reasons for his disqualification, and that's why we are able to speak to this. And we're saying that those two reasons giving a violation of two articles, one of them, so the two reasons basically being one, his refusal to pay the onward transfer fee or the 10% due the GFA from the Joseph Pencil transfer. 3 million euros, the GFA is due 10%. 5% of which will remain in the FA account, the other 5% will go to Galca. 10% of 3 million is 300,000 euros. They contacted Palmer to pay. Palmer said he will not pay the money to the NC, but he said he will pay the money to the FA. And this is an issue of trust too. Palmer didn't want to pay them. I'm not defending him, I'm telling you what the issue is. Palmer didn't want to pay the money to Dr. Kofi Amah because he doesn't trust him.
But Dr. Kofi Amah was the FA at the time.
Okay,
Yes.
can you substantiate this?
Yes.
No,
Hold
But
on,
I've been
hold
told
on,
so.
hold on.
no, that is the fact.
He said, no,
Guys,
this is
Let
not
me-
an
I'm
allegation.
coming. Let me
Listen
make my
to the
point.
audio.
Chris, understand this. Audios can be taken out of context.
Not audio. I'm not talking about audio.
So
This
I'm
isn't
just
an
asking,
allegation.
and I'm asking this question.
And he says he can
You
substantiate.
say you can substantiate. I'm asking this to shield all of us. You get where I'm going.
What, there's somebody going to sue
I'm
me
saying.
because I
I'm
said
asking you a question. Can you substantiate this? If you can, let's proceed.
that Palmer doesn't want to pay the money because he doesn't trust.
Yes.
That is of
Yes.
course.
Okay, fine. Let's
I can
proceed
even
then.
substantiate it. Me, Coach Chris.
Okay.
I can substantiate. This is not even a secret. I'm surprised Nathan is.
No.
It's not.
Okay, let's
Let's
proceed.
make progress. Let's make progress.
He doesn't trust the man. It's that simple. But does that make it right? No, it doesn't.
So the man is showing scratchy powers.
Yeah, it doesn't. However, what they have failed to do, or what the NC has failed to do, is this. When Ket came here, and I listened to the interview very carefully before I came here, he made a very good point when Ben asked him about the Kujo Mensah matter. That people have to be clear in their minds that there is a difference between the entity Dreams FC and the natural being Ketokreku. The same is true for Palmer and Temayuf.
Exactly.
Temayuf
Transfer the player.
transfer the player. Palmer as an individual can transfer a player. The club as an entity transferred the player. The money was transferred into the account of the club.
You attack the club, not the person.
Thank you. So
This is a legal matter. This is a purely legal matter.
it's a no. It's
straightforward.
it's
It's clear.
straightforward. It is in
clear.
the, it's the statute. You are dealing with Tamayuf.
clear.
You're not dealing with Ket. Sorry, you're not dealing with Palmer. Tamayuf transferred the player. Tamayuf is the member of the association, not Palmer.
Exactly. You don't get what they are doing.
Tamayuf are supposed to pay the 10%.
Not
Yes,
Palmer as an
we are not
individual.
blind. We are not stupid. We know that Tamayuf is Palmer, but in legal matters, you can't attack Palmer for the wrongs of Tamayuf.
That is why in the Dreams case, Dreams was
That's
punished
why- yes.
as an entity.
You see? And the individuals that were punished at Dreams FC, Ket wasn't one of them.
No.
And Ket maintains that he was not at fault. And we accept that to be true.
Okay.
In the same vein, you have to look at the Palmer situation the same way that Tamayu failed to pay. There are statutes that guide on punishments that will be meted out to clubs that fail to pay.
But maybe the NC can also say that, as the owner, in terms of integrity test, you are the one supposed to make sure that this and this is done.
Yeah, but the
And
club
you
has a
didn't do it.
board.
But and you
The,
didn't
the,
do it.
the majority
so in that
share-
case,
uh-huh.
in that
So that's the case, right? So in that sense, you can understand why Palmer will feel hard done by. And then the issue of saying that the other issue was the statement he made on Panorama, of course, that ethics matter, that we didn't qualify for the World Cup because people, we didn't pay indemnity, whatever, right? We didn't pay money to referees and all that.
How I wish they'll go back to find out how we qualified.
But you see, the truth of the matter is that in that case as well, Palmer was summoned by the ethics committee of the GFA. Palmer went to meet the ethics committee of the GFA on that incident. The ethics committee of the GFA ruled on the matter. They concluded that Palmer had erred and that he should apologize for putting the name of the GFA into disrepute. Palmer subsequently apologized. So in other words, that matter was conclusively dealt with. So how is it now another issue in the future that is now being used against him when it was dealt with and he was punished by the wisdom of the ethics committee? He was punished conclusively. So this is why Palmer feels that he's being targeted. Having said that, I don't agree that he shouldn't have paid the money using technicalities. So you owe the FA, you pay. It's as you transfer money, you owe the FA. That's how the FA runs on these kinds of transfer fees. It's important. However, in terms of the legal aspects of it, you cannot fault Palmer for something that Temayuf did wrong. Of course, we do know that he's Temayuf, but if you're going through the strictest form of the law, it can't be his fault. The same way it wasn't Keto Kreku's fault that Daniel Kujo Mensah's name was changed to Daniel Goza. You understand? It's Dreams FC. Dreams were punished. It's not Ket's problem.
Okay, so I'm getting some legal clearance here from a friend.
Wow.
Yes. Says that in law, and there are other lawyers listening, I guess, so you can chip in. A company incorporated under our laws has a distinct legal identity from the owners or shareholders.
Yeah.
That's it.
However, that veil of incorporation can be removed when certain laws have been breached,
and then you can go after the individual.
such as laws on crime and fraud.
Okay.
The law recognizes that it is human beings that runs companies. That is why human beings are held responsible for criminal collapse or dealings of companies. It's like saying those who allegedly caused the banking crisis cannot be criminally charged because transactions were made under a company name. I think that brings finality to the matter. If your son has been taken to the university and you see a viral video of an Awula claiming her tribe and beating your son with bathroom chalewote, bluebird. Let's take a break here on Sports Panorama. I'll be back.
City 97.3 Accra.
They are on the attack. PK passes it to Hazard, who's making a run to the center. The through ball to...
Travel the country in just 30 minutes on the U-Tour bus.
I'm just coming from the home or from the palace of the new...
Let me get to my messages. They've been coming in. Oh, this one here says, this one's from Kwame Apea from Kokomlim. It says the NC has filed an entry of appearance through Bayou and Co., a legal firm where now the Foley works. I don't know what that's supposed to be heading.
I think it's...
in response to what?
He's just giving some info concerning the Roy Arthur.
Wow.
Yes.
Tojo says that this disqualification was done so that the NC's tenure will be extended further. This was done deliberately. This NC has not done a good job. All the courts and injunctions were anticipated. Jude inside Kakasunanka number 1 says, George to me seems more of a politician. I don't like his aura. Kurt, if he is having the connections, George, if he has George's connections, is the best for me because he seems to tackle more of grassroots football, which is the foundation we need. George doesn't look like a football person, but a politician. William from Spintech says that in an election where there is a small constituency, are we really using a crowd to determine who is leading as if it is a general election? Amusing. Anyway, the people who matter know that Fred Papo is the man. Charlie, people are using their messages to do their own campaign. Charlie, Charlie, people are not playing in this election. Let me read more messages. Awudi Bernard from Medina says that Ben, help me welcome Fento Tahir. Again, it is my hope and prayer that the electorates should choose the right candidate. I have developed interest in sports commentary football to be specific, and I know you and your team can help me achieve that. Kudos to you and your team. Alugi from East Legon says all these presidential aspirants espousing all these initiatives. Meanwhile, the crux of the matter lies with club licensing. Make sure the right and capable persons are allowed to get in football at all levels.
The club licensing man, that's a break. I saw a tweet from Muftau that he's about to be fired.
Another matter.
Right after the elections, no.
Another matter. Yeah, Chris inside Ashaiman Newtown says that I'm really enjoying tonight's show. Let's not forget that some of these so-called gentlemen had worked in Nyantechi's tenure, who aided the FA's waywardness and wrecked it. So my question is, what new phenomenon will they bring on board this time? Coach Chris, kindly tell me what's happening to our United now. As for Daniel Cranton quitting, I won't say anything. I rest my case. Lagbate comes again, says...
Did I tell you I ran into Lagbate some time back at the mall?
Lagbate.
Lagbate.
Yeah, Lagbate, that's his name.
Have you only been behave?
Coach, behave. This one says, Chris is speaking as if he doesn't know how things how things work and how they are influenced heavily. If you have money, you may win. Don't be too sure. Eric at Insakina, I think. He says GH football will only research if there is transparency with this GFA election. In Kensen from Kaswa says vetting is vetting. Let's even forget about the audio we are hearing. What if Palmer could not convince the committee enough? He failed to answer the questions correctly. That's why he lost. Ghana first. Elsit from East Legon says that George is not in a comfortable lead. Amanda Clinton will shock you guys. Wait and see. CEO at Odoko Buzia says that when the weather is hihiris, you do things with Michingoro. Hey, Charlie, that's where we've entered right now. Neil from OUB says that good evening, guys. Tell coach I saw him at Fulani Junction today.
That's where I live around that area.
Oh, okay. Coach lives around Fulani Junction, so you're right. Elsit from East Legon again says the Black Queens disappointed us in Kenya, but we are proud of them. And Nago people have used juju on them. That's why they lost. Farouk Headliner from Medina Institute of Science and Technology says, I remember coach saying Drogba took the number 9 shirt to some river in Cote d'Ivoire. I just want to know if Tammy Abraham is an inhabitant of that river.
Don't bring it. When we go into the spirituality of that shit.
Relax for me, Christopher. Relax. This one's from Nanaya in Nana Chrome says, guys, good evening. Man City had a new signing that you don't commit brilliantly, only for the whole world to know he was the Jonah in the Man United boat. We at Anfield are taking it week by week and match after match. Jonah, your greetings. Barnabas from Awoshi says that please ask Numo Cranting how Man City treated him after their Wolves shenanigans. Tucha Blaze from Malang Bawi says, please, we beg today, go easy on us, Man United, because we make Yawa like the guy then take Black Chalewote beat him. Hashtag Sports Panorama. So the guy specify, we say Black Chalewote.
It's not funny.
How is it not funny?
When they went to the funeral.
Charlie. Respect. Respect. Gideon from Spintex says, good evening to Daniel Cranting. You joined Man City at the wrong time. Regards, Adama Traore. F0 from Chevi Zongo says, listening to you live from the most popular Zongo in Ocheman, and I love your discussion. Tell coach's darling boy Mount is starting England's game. So that's the 4-1-1 as far as the GFA elections are concerned. Where do we dovetail into next? Let's do some Wafu Cup final. Let's talk Wafu briefly. Maxwell Konedu and his Chargers are in the final. They take on host nation Senegal. Ghana beat Cote d'Ivoire 3-1 in the semi-final. Safiu Mumuni, the hottest striker on the Ghanaian scene at the moment, hat-trick hero, blazing the trail. He just doing things. Yeah. Nathan, snap thoughts on that particular game. That game is on Sunday. Yeah. Ghana's chances, the competition so far for Ghana, and if we can defend that title.
Well, it is possible. I like what I saw when they took on Cote d'Ivoire in that semi. I thought that the team started really well, even though as the game wore on and they were 3 up, they dropped their guard. It was very natural, and I didn't like how they completed that game. But I thought up until the 60th or so minute when they were 3 up, they played some fantastic football. We talk about Shafiu Mumuni scoring the goals, and I love his approach to goal scoring. He's in the box, he's looking for the opportunities, he's waiting for chances, he's there sniffing things out, and I love how he went after the second and third goals. Very similar headers, one from across from the right, the other from the left. But I think that the team's most important attacking player is Augustine Okra. He makes the team tick because he's playing on that far side. He's providing them with he's cutting onto his stronger left foot because he's playing on the opposite side. He's just playing with so much buzz that when he gets going, Shafiu Mumuni knows that something will happen for him in that box. And the fact that Okra is a fantastic threat from set pieces, I think those are the things Konedu will have to get out of the boys. The rest of the team really picks itself. I think Justice Blay has been very, very good protecting the defense. And one decision that I'll give Maxwell Konedu props for, putting Felix Hanan on the bench and playing Eric Entry,
Eric Ofoentry.
Alawa, solid goalkeeper. Very, very good with the penalty.
He's found his way back because he was falling off a little.
He was falling off, but I loved his confidence in the area, the fact that he can organize his back foot, come out for a cross, and his ability to stop shots.
He was at fault for the goal, though.
Of course. I mean, I thought that the keeping was really poor. But I think that goal tells you where the team was at that. Everybody had dropped their guard. Everybody had started thinking of the final. So it was going to happen. But I think they'll have to be very careful of Senegal. The host team, they were the first team to clock the biggest winning margin. They did a 3-1 before Ghana did a 3-1. So they are very good. They won't have to keep their eye on them. The crowd will be behind them. They will up the ante. But I think that Konedu's boys have shown that they can play, and they can play really, really, really well. I think they found their level, and after beating Cote d'Ivoire, they will be buzzing, but they'll have to keep their nerve. It's a very, very complicated game to play. When you are defending champions, there's the pressure on you to win, but you are playing against the home nation, who will apply more pressure because they want to win that competition for the first time. But I think that the Black Stars B can hold their own against Senegal. I think that they've shown what they can do, and I'm happy with what I've seen. My challenge, though, is after this tournament, I wonder. I won't say it's a challenge. I just love to see how they will fare in a different context when they play Burkina Faso in that qualifier, because now you don't have time to settle in one place where you have a competition. You have weeks and weeks to prepare. Now you have to go and try and win a game away from home against Burkina Faso. But that's for later. But I think on Sunday, it should work well for Ghana. The only challenge I have is the tendency for the team to concede first. And my fear is that should they go behind first, will they be able to fight back? They did that against Burkina Faso. But now, if you fall behind, you have to do that against a host nation that wants to win a final. So it should be a good game. Like I said, the Black Stars will start. I won't say will start as favorites because they are defending champions. The Senegalese will feel that they are favorites. But I think that the team can look at what they did against Cote d'Ivoire in the semis and apply a lot more of those to see if they can get into it.
Daniel, yeah?
I've been very impressed with, and it might sound funny, but Joseph Esso. You see, I think that
Hearts of Folks Joseph Esso.
I think Maxwell Konedu has realized, and I feel Kim Grant should be watching this, obviously, and he should pick something from it. He's realized Joseph Esso is not a finisher. He's not somebody that you put in your team to lead your line. But the work that he does allows the main number 9 in Shafiu Mumuni to flourish. He's a busybody. He's all over the place, attracting defenders, drawing them close, making space for his strike partner. And for Hearts of Folk, if Hearts of Folk are taking a cue out of this, they will know that going into the next season, they need to get another striker, somebody who scored the goals. Because you look at Shafiu Mumuni and the kind of goals that he scored, especially the second and the third goal, as Nathan said, they were late runs into the box. The first one, he just arrived into the box, the cross was swung in. But he saw Joseph Esso in the box, already occupying a defender and creating space for for Shafi Muni to come in behind him and put the ball in the back of net. And the third goal was also very similar because there was an overhead cross first before the second one came
in, yeah.
And Eso had already taken the defender. Shafi had a free chance to just head the ball in the back of the net. So he's been very impressive. And sometimes players like that don't really get recognized. Like what we saw Giroud do at the World Cup. Players like that don't really get recognized, but they put in a lot of work, and they are the main reasons why the guys getting the goals are getting the goals in the first place. So I've personally been very, very impressed with Joseph Esso's output in the tournament.
So Joseph Esso, yeah, coach quickly.
Yeah, let me just say this on the team. I think we don't have an issue going forward as a team. The problem we have with this team is our back four, and especially the two laterals. In this tournament, at left back in particular, he's tried two players, and you can clearly see the lack of cohesion on that side of our defense.
But why are we having, Chris? Why are we having problems as a country at left back?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Maxwell Kudedu's teams have always had issues. The
2 years
first
ago
time,
it was Patrick Asma.
yep, when he took over the team first. And you know the funny thing, at that point, Maxwell himself, and indeed practically every local coach I spoke to, seemed to be of the opinion that Patrick Asma was the best left back locally on the scene at the time, and that he was going to be the next big thing in the next 3 years. We are still here.
And we struggled. And for me, we are playing against the best team of the tournament.
Host nation as
Yes,
well.
they are by far. If you watch them play, in every department, they look too good.
Very organized.
Very organized. So for me, we have to play in a certain way to get the result. It has to be a very pragmatic approach. We need to cancel whatever they do and wait for our moment, like we did against our. Look, we were not that splendid against the Ivorians. We just we waited for our moment, and then bang, bang, bang. Especially the second and the third goal. Classic goal, fantastic goals by our standard. We need to do same, but we need to defend better. Nathan, you will bear with me that in that first half, had the Ivorians been clinical, they should have ended the half in the lead.
Because they got the very first chance of the game.
First chance of
about
the game.
3 minutes into it.
When we scored, they got about 3 opportunities that they could have just used to equalize. They wasted all of them. So going against this Senegalese team, a team that looks very solid from defense through to midfield and in attack, we need to be very, very cautious. We need to show them respect, but don't over-respect them. And in doing so, we need to get the ball quickly to Esau and then the chap. And
Augustine Okra.
because these two guys going forward looked our best players. Also, the captain, he's always at the end of the move. Right? He should be there and then put the ball in the back of the net for us. And then I think a time will come in that game where we'll have to add another midfielder to Justice Play and the chap from Ashgood. I've forgotten his name. Oh, my... No. Friend, to help me out, this Ashgold midfielder who played at under 17 level. The one CK requested for to come and join him at Kotoko.
McCarthy's midfield partner.
Yeah, what's his name?
I forgot it.
I've forgotten his name. The two of them, that guy and Justice Play, are so important. But I foresee that.
So the name is James Akamenko.
James.
So the name is just coming to me.
James Akamenko against the Senegalese. Nathan, I think we need another midfield.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the kind of struggles the back four has had,
we can match them both football and protect our back four very, very. Justice Blake is doing an excellent job. But if you look at times, there's a huge gap. When we attack, we leave the attacking duties to Esau, Okran, and then the captain to do. There's no sort of transitional positioning on the part of our midfielders because they are only two. And they are afraid that if they commit, there will be huge gaps. But against this Senegalese, when we get the ball in their third and we are more or less counter-attacking them, we should commit. But if you've got 3 midfielders in the middle, then you can commit at least 1 to make it a 4 up front, or 2 to make it so a 5v5, 5 attack, 5 defend. That will enable us to recover when we need to defend. But look, it's going to be a very, very difficult game. If you ask me, I want Ghana will win. Do I think Ghana will win? No, I don't think so. I think the Senegalese are too strong for my liking.
Home,
I expect them to win.
and they should take advantage of home dominance.
Here's
I don't
my
want to
question
pass
to
judgment
you.
on that
Here's
game.
my
though.
question to
Yeah.
you. Based on how strong and how well organized you think the Senegalese Wafu team is, do you think Man United stands a chance against them?
You are not serious. I can't believe you actually sounded very serious, framed the question meticulously, only to do that. Charlie.
That's an important question.
When you have
I knew you would back him. I knew you would back him.
I mean, it's a very critical question. Can Man United take on the Senegalese B team? That's a great question.
Do they stand a chance?
Well, Apuzo of Chelsea fame has answers.
Kotwa pa de wason lele ese mujano kwan na kipa be na mo ko fa na he ane boarding din kipa bi na odam po de bi baba ho no baba ho no ke oya de kabla kalaza kwan kipa sabaka kabla kipa sabaka kapa ka sabalaga abu so se kapa kabalaza ni dino no wo Spain na wo he international no kapa kapalaza.
You know what? Ben, I don't believe this. He's done his very best. Look,
Kabalakalaza.
It took me days
To get it right, and you when you
right
get it right, it rolled off your tongue easily.
from Nathan.
Yeah.
It took me days.
Aretha.
Balaha.
Please play Apuzo's version again for me.
Kotwa pa de wason lele ese mujano kwan na kipa be na mo ko fa na he ane boarding din kipa bi na odam po de bi baba ho no baba ho no ke oya de kabla kalaza kwan kipa sabaka kabla kipa sabaka kapa ka sabalaga abu so se kapa kabalaza ni dino no wo Spain na wo he international no kapa kapalaza.
Hey, Charlie. In the world of Mandarin names, this is the Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, I mean,
The first time he said Kabrakalaza. What? Nah, Charlie. And you should see the video. He's just sitting on the edge of his bed casually, just swinging his legs. Just
Very sure he's got it right.
Charlie, just loudspeaker on the phone with his.
Yeah.
Nah, Charlie.
Kepa Ibracadabra.
Hold on. Let's talk Black Queens a little, Daniel. The Black Queens drew goalless in Ghana with Kenya, and then went all the way to Nairobi and lost by a goal to nil. A penalty scored in the 99th minute dumped Ghana out. And Nathan and I were following that game.
I was watching.
It was.
Look,
it was such a sad
I know you
performance.
asked, Daniel. I'll just say this. I don't want to go too hard on Messi Tego. Okay, on the merit of that game, I thought Messi Tego let her team down. On the merit of that game alone, she's done a great job.
Because she's won a trophy with them in a
on
short
that
spell.
day alone, I think she had an off day tactically. Now, you've drawn the home leg. You need a score draw or a victory, right, to get you through. We spent regulation time, Chris, passing the ball about, no urgency, no identity, no pattern. We were struggling to make things happen.
No intensity.
There was no. We played in gear one.
Walking pace the whole match.
Game.
Yep.
Allow the Kenyans to see
And
whatever way.
yes, and once the Kenyans realized that, wait a minute, there was nothing we could do. Ben, from the blast of the first second of extra time, they started chasing our team. Then they got themselves a penalty. Once that penalty went in, it was now that the Queens upped their tempo. And even at that point, they were still making mistakes. I know teams have off days.
No, but at that point, the pressure was beginning to tell.
Yes.
Not only on the players, but
But
even
on the coach. I thought that Messi Tego, for all the great things she's done, I think she had an off day tactically. I don't know what the plan was, but we cannot play an eliminator knowing that we need a score draw or a win away from
play like
and
that.
play leisurely. It was so sad watching the Queens play. I was watching it on YouTube. You should have seen the comments from the Kenyan fans. Saying all kinds of very deride, they were deriding the team, saying that, wait a minute, Are these the Ghana Black Queens? We don't believe it. What are we watching? What kind of poor plays? I felt so sad watching it because they knew that
If
coming
we were to
into
play-
their place, we had a team that could take them down,
and beat them there.
but we couldn't.
We should have won like.
Daniel,
guys.
the final word for you on this one.
My problem is how in recent years the Black Queens seem to be going this way instead of upwards. And if you look at
Not them alone.
no, look, if you look at what is happening with our younger teams in terms of the princesses and the maidens, they're actually doing well.
Yeah.
When they go to the World Cups, they do well. At least we pick up some 4 or 5 players who we know that if we transition them well enough, the Black Queens will get there. But they never seem to get there. Let's be honest. We hosted an AFCON at home, and we went out in the group stages. No matter how you choose to look at that, that is poor.
Very, very poor.
And since then, in fact, even before then, we knew that we could risk being kicked out in the first round of the AFCON if we didn't take care in terms of preparation. Look, we might think we have the players now, but if you look outside the box, look, frankly speaking, I don't think they are there yet. I don't think that the Black Queens are there yet. Individually, yes, we might have some 1 or 2 who can carry a team. But in terms of collectively as a team, the coaching, it's just not ticking. And it's a problem for me because you just look at the maidens or the princesses at the World Cup, how they were tearing teams one after another. It took penalties to take them out in a game where we knew that had they added 5 more minutes, they would have won. But when it comes to the senior team, and the senior team is, you look at the current generation, these are like 90% of the girls who play at the 2012 and was it under 20 World Cup or so, who are now in the Black Queens, 17. Under 17 World Cup, and all of a sudden they look all over the place. I don't want to put it down to coaching because they've gone through 2 different coaches, but the problem hasn't changed. Bashir Hilford took the team beans. Mercy Tego has taken over the team, and it's not looking good. But I feel of the 2, I'll stick with her because she's taking them to the WAF.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
She went all the way and won the competition, even despite without her some of her.
Yeah, I mean,
Stick with her, yes, but she needs a proper back
number 2
proper.
back.
Or else don't set her up to go and fail. That is what that is what it is. I mean, I know her. I was in the same class with her when we went for our coaching course. Brilliant by all standard. Okay, but she needs a proper number 2, someone who could get her to sit and then read the situation better. Because look,
Chris, because
it was
listen,
clear
Chris,
that
in that game
it
against
got to
Kenya,
her.
From
all
end
we
to
needed
end, from the first minute to last
all we
of
needed,
extra time.
all we needed was somebody
who could
to realize what was going on
and then
figure it, because Ben, if look, the few times that the Queens put together good sequences,
you could see
they
that
beat Kenya.
were there for the take.
So we could not repeat. It was so sad watching it.
I felt like the background or the backbone to that poor performance
I don't even
really
know who her
was the
number 2
energy in the team. There literally was no energy. They were playing as if there was nothing at stake.
And for me, that cannot be put down to fatigue. No, for me, it had to take a very determined technical team to wake them up. Okay, so if Messi, who is her number 2? I don't even know who her number 2 is.
Fine.
And surely I'll need to find out. Or maybe I'll have to call her after the program. I want to find out who her deputy is, because when you watch that game again, Nathan, it was clear that everything was left to her.
And Chris, it was so sad when we went down and we started. Then the Kenyans were just picking us off on the break. Yes. It was so predictable. Every time we went forward, the Kenyans long ball. There we were fumbling. We couldn't get the ball out. Then the Kenyans would miss it. At a point, the Kenyans even realized that there was no need scoring a second because we were no threat.
And all we needed to do was to at least go get that first goal, because like Nathan said, we needed a score.
You needed 2 results: a score, draw, a win.
You see, we are better than them. So go get the first goal and get them to open up, and then you go punish them. Because if they go toe to toe with us, we'll beat them. So for me, I don't know. But like I said, yes, stay with her, but get her a better number 2.
Let me get a few more messages from the message board. I'll get to Twitter in a bit so we can just get an idea of what you guys have been sending us out there. Rexford from Koforidua says, can someone explain to me why Hearts of Oak backed Amanda Clinton? I think you can write to Togbe Afede for that. We can't give you that explanation here. Or you can link up with Lario Pareado. He can give you the explanation for that. Jude inside Kakasunaka says, big ups to Ghana's Marco Silva. Golfers should pass by and congratulate him. But on Sunday, that Senegal left-footed right winger should be pocketed in a Nyantichi-sized pocket to avoid trouble.
That guy is good.
I have a question. Who is Ghanaian Marco Silva?
Maxwell Kunedo. Oh, you didn't know?
Sorry, but that's not a good. That's not a good nickname to have.
That is not the discussion today. The discussion is that's his name.
What is worse is Ghana's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That is worse than Marco Silva.
Who is that? Who is that?
If they call you Ghana's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer,
Them
it's worse
problem.
than Marco Silva.
Problem, Unkuti.
Well, this way from Pantime Village says, I want to laugh at Coach Chris, but his team is too weak. Laughing at them is not even funny anymore. But watching the Chalewote beating today, I pity them against Liverpool. Charlie, they say Liverpool will beat you like the way they beat somebody with Chalewote
That would be
today.
a blessing in
I will make an emphatic
Didn't
statement.
you hear?
Very emphatic.
Please.
We are listening.
United will beat Liverpool. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Read my lips. Is it just as I said?
Just like the Espirito Santo.
Minimum. No, forget about that. The minimum.
Forget about that.
That Chelsea will receive will be 3. They took 4. I've come again. When it involves my United in the big game. I forget. Liverpool, you see. United worst result on that day. Coming Sunday, next week.
You mean Liverpool and United is back to the classic case of Kontomire and the blunt
It's
knife?
the same thing. You don't need form to play in that game.
Did you hear what he said?
It is back to Kontomire and the blunt knife.
Ben, did you hear him? He said United's worst result would be
a draw.
Which means basically they are going to come and play for a draw. Pack the bus.
That is our worst. It means we are coming to win the game.
No, it means that's what you're going to come and play for. Then when you get it, then you say, I told you so. You are playing at home. Against.
I'm telling you.
Hold on.
United.
Which United? West Ham?
Labius United. Martial United. Rashford United. Maguire.
Lingard's United. Ashley Young's United.
You see?
No.
I'm not part of Cranton. I'm only saying. Only Ghana Social made the statement. But I like the statement. He said after the Newcastle game, he said that. He said United. He said I like that we are playing Liverpool next.
Yes.
He says because it is the game that we used to turn our season around. Yeah, we'll be turning the season around. Only turning it down to relegation. That's where we'll be going.
Well, let's do a few international friendly matches. No, before that, Fentio Tahir has come back from Doha, so he needs to give us Doha filler.
Let's let him. He will give us the Doha filler last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes. Okay, cool.
But I always say,
last 5 minutes.
Relax. We've got 10 minutes.
5 minutes for me.
Relax. Take your time. So this weekend is international weekend, and DSTV has you covered. Tonight, as we are speaking now, is England drawing 1-1 at Czech Republic.
You know, Mason Mount started that game.
Don't worry, he will deliver. Trust me, Simon.
Yeah.
And France.
The Lingard wasn't called up.
No one. Just
they should have started the Leicester City boy, Madison. That's who.
Madison is from illness, due to illness.
He will come home very soon.
So Iceland are currently losing.
Bring everybody home.
Iceland are currently losing at home to France.
That's also on DSTV.
That's also on DSTV. But on Saturday, is it Saturday? Yes, on Saturday there are a host of qualifiers happening as well, and then on Sunday there are some qualifiers. Estonia versus Germany is on Super Sport 3 and 10. Wales versus Croatia, that's a very important game on Super Sport 7. All of that happening at 6:45. Scotland and San Marino. If Scotland can't beat anybody, they will beat San Marino. Everybody beats San Marino. Belarus and Netherlands will play on Sunday around 4 p.m. For those who remember, 2 nights ago, last night, Holland played out a fantastic 3-1 win against Northern Ireland. I was happy for Memphis Depay. And there are other games as well. Bulgaria, England on Monday, Lithuania, Serbia on Monday, Ukraine, Portugal on Monday, and France, Turkey on Monday. All of that happening across the various SuperSport channels. SuperSport 3, 10, 7, 8, and 4. And if you love your wrestling, there's SmackDown on the SS4 or channel 128, which is live on air at 2 a.m. And then there's WWE Raw on Tuesday. So SmackDown is live on Saturday, WWE Raw on Tuesday, and SmackDown live on Saturday, October 19th, also at 2 a.m. All of that live on DSTV.
Yes, sir.
It's hot.
But no, see.
It's hot.
You want to say something?
Is the Ineos Fun
I just
59 challenge?
I just want to advise.
Yeah, of course, the athletics and the F1 as well.
Let me just advise those of you who did not listen to Offside on Monday, Nathan's edition. Go and listen.
Yes.
You see me, it's the
It's
opening,
on Citi Sports Ghana.
Ghana,
On YouTube.
The YouTube channel.
the
Yep.
opening line. And today I was doing some small research. The opening line, Nathan said, and it's facts. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as Manchester United manager, has picked up 17 points from 16 games. Now, what is 17 points times 2?
34.
34. That's the amount of points Cardiff picked up last season and they were relegated. That means if Ole does the same thing till the end of the season, what does it mean?
Relegation.
No, but the matter is serious. But talking about that, I discovered something earlier. I shared it on a United WhatsApp group, and somebody said, "Wow, listen, I was checking the UEFA rankings, right? Do you know that the Norwegian League is equal to the English League One?
Oh, Charlie.
Now, in a parallel universe, will Manchester United employ a manager from League One? They'll tell you we won't do it, but they've employed a manager from Norway, a manager whose managerial career has taken him from United under 23
Cardiff
to relegating Cardiff to winning the Norwegian League with Mulder and coming to play in England as Man United boss. He's left. Listen, no, he's left Norway. Mulder are still winning the league.
Almost say
You mean Ed Woodward has been telling lies to the United faithful, and so it has become truth.
They say DNA.
Nyantechi confirmed.
it is
Nyantechi
not a
confirmed.
They say
Once a lie is told, it metamorphoses into truth. Once a lie is told, it metamorphoses into truth.
Once a lie is told,
Ole has done
really, so personally, if you ask me,
I need to hear that cue again.
I just think that Ole Solskjaer is a dead man. I've read all kinds of stories. We all know the stories. As soon as they start like this,
the guy, son.
you know what
Your exit is near.
You see, I was here. Don't sack Ojam. I said it.
I like how you always seem to sympathize with coaches.
Don't sack Ojam.
Ojam had poisoned the atmosphere.
As for Ole, Numo, Eyakweje, Enye Wawo. But with or without Ole, I am saying that next week Sunday, Liverpool will taste their first defeat of the season.
Please, let us hear the coach prayer again before we move on to anything.
He what?
He's done. He's done for Charlie.
But Solskjaer, that
Do you
facial.
like this weather?
Oh, no more. No more. Oh, I like the weather.
I have to pray.
Please do us the honest.
Oh, you was about. Minnesota Nima Soa. When we done in le, he hears. He hears. The weather is he hears. Beno aka ogbo na ho oba yu anu kwale son ni kagbe na in le Beni boys fi amani bi weather ka eba wonder bushi ye yesu gba amen.
Amen and amen and amen to how boys feel amani be. Amen to that again. Sports Panorama, of course, proudly brought to us by Betway. Now, the Betway Money Back Boost lets you back more of your favorite teams by giving you up to 20 times your bet back if you are unlucky. Visit betway.com.gh and create a multi-bet that has 6 or more selections. If one of your selections lets you down, we'll refund up to 20 times the value of your bet. The more selections you add, the more you get back. Bet your way with Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Betway, for the love of the game. Kweku Doha. Kweku Kata.
I came here for Nimili.
Kweku Tahiru.
I came here for Nimili. While I was away, did you see the sort of beans his team was churning out?
Newcastle.
Hey, Nimili.
They were scored by Longstaff's
two
cousin.
Longstaff. Shock.
A player who earns £850 a week.
Matty Longstaff.
£850 per every week. Not 1,000, no, £850. Not enough to pay his rent. He lives with his brother.
Man, you team
It's not team matter.
No, coach.
You can't tell me that a midfield. Are you using your 5 Longstaff?
Yes, I prefer to use my 5 minutes for Nimili.
Fred,
it's more valuable use of my time.
As for Fred, he has to go.
The coach has signed.
Who else has to go?
Doesn't know anything.
You follow Daniel Granting.
The coach doesn't know
Yes,
anything.
follow Daniel.
To where?
To Man City.
You are joking.
First of all, will you tell us what you saw in Qatar?
Follow Daniel to Man City.
He wants to
it's
use
a
his
better
5
use
minutes
of your
for
time. What I told you when you were here shouting that Mason Mount and shouting Demi Abraham,
Espirito Santo.
Have you seen? Yeah. Today, see the only you do is when you cry.
2 points above the relegation zone. 2 points above the. Meanwhile, Chelsea are 2 points behind.
They have Man City. You see, Chelsea 2 points behind Man City. Man United. See, when you were doing the Nuno Espirito will beat Chelsea and you were doing now the only you will do is the brew you do after the tears of crying.
Don't worry. You see, it will end in tears.
You see, it will end in tears. You see, from tomorrow, I am going to change my Twitter DP to that your photo. Until your team starts to win. That is the new.
No, but that DP, that picture, I don't know if all of us can do it, but I'm going to personally get somebody to put it on canvas for me. I will frame it. If for nothing, when we leave this job one day, it will give us golden memories. Daniel, please.
Sir Benjamin, please. When Wolves beat my team, the people were laughing. But thankfully, my team has already made me used. My old team made me used to losing, so it wasn't an unfamiliar feeling. And they thought they say I'm the Jonah, but Newcastle in Po.
Get Daniel to understand.
Newcastle in Po. Sack Ole
is gone forever.
Did you send me the Manchester United fans application form?
Get Daniel to understand that the Man United.
Once you step out the door, you can't come back in. The door has been closed on you.
Agbele don
gone with Lukaku and Co.
Gone with Lukaku and Ojam and Co.
Pogba went and came back.
Pogba, what we are saying
coming back
is
for my brother.
Look, the fact of the matter is,
sack Ole.
When you listen to Fentio talk, it's not about
it's the bull that you did.
Wait, it's about.
What is the
namely land and let's close? We're almost out of time.
It's about being truthful to yourself.
Were you truthful to Chelsea when you said they would go on relegation?
I said,
but he didn't say
that.
He didn't say that.
I said so many things about Chelsea.
Thank you.
But he didn't.
Were you being truthful
Lampard
to yourself?
Will come good.
That he said.
I said Mason Mount to me is an untouchable in Chelsea.
What did you say of Abraham?
I told you, Abraham, Abraham. Let me tell you something.
He's about to go.
That boy, you can think he's arrived. He's got a long way to go.
Agreed.
Because for me as a coach, at his age, be ready to pamper him when the going gets there, because it will get there. So
the way he has to go and the way Rashford has to go, whose way is longer?
Rashford doesn't have a way.
Rashford doesn't have a way.
They are two different players.
They're both strikers.
What I'm saying, I repeat myself again. Whether United is going to get relegated or not, me, Coach Chris, I'll forever remain a United fan.
You can't be talking like this.
30 years without even winning the league.
Thank you.
They were not relegated.
Thank you.
They were not relegated. They were not close to being relegated. They were not lying to themselves. A club legends is the way to go. The man has sacked him.
If after 8 games, you think you sit here, you say you want to go and join.
It's not after 8 games.
If
17 points in 16 games. He has sacked himself
against Wolves. He
has sacked him.
Did you see that?
Newcastle beans, Crystal Palace beans.
Oh, that's an end
West
to
Ham beans.
That's how we bring tonight's show to a close. Interesting thoughts from the guys there. You heard Coach Christopher Nimley, Nathan Kwao, Fentio Tahiru, and Daniel Cranting. Show proudly brought to us by Betway and also by DSTV. Quick shout outs, birthday shouts before I go.
It's radio.
Yeah.
Hearies. Oh, Charlie. The weather is hearies.
Coach, your mic is off. It's okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 11. That is the foundation
It's okay.
of the word hearies.
A happy belated birthday to my good sister, Harriet Opong. Yeah, you celebrated your birthday yesterday. And then, of course, Nana Joa Sako there, sharing the birthday with my sister.
That was Nana Joa's birthday.
Nana Joa.
They are both Nana Joa actually, so it's a blessing. It's nice.
Happy belated.
One is
Happy
just-
belated to Harriet Opong, my sister,
Nagode.
and my good buddy, friend, and everything.
But they are
Nana Joa Sako
everything.
there.
And
everything. Oh yeah. Friend, everything, and everything.
Everything. We are interested.
No more in low one. Now that the weather has he's. Now that the weather has he's.
Coach, your mic is off. Thank you very much for doing the listening. Benjamin Ingetia here. Thank you for the tweets, for the messages. Sports Panorama back same time next week. And keep your dial on Citi 97.3.